them.
So just by us looking at you, we can tell you have like a masculine spirit on you. That's right. God created you to be a woman to bring life into the earth. You agree with that, sis? Okay. But why are young girls flocking to that lifestyle?
I tried. They said
Lack of self-awareness and depression.
All right, yes. Okay, that's good.
I look at myself with my younger cousin and speaking to her, she just don't love herself.
Okay. So you saying this young lady don't love herself?
I'm not saying far as her because I don't know her.
So let me ask you, sis.
Some of them because of lack of self, I would say.
Okay. So
Why are you gay?
why do you act that way? Why do you think it's okay to be with women? Let me rephrase it. Do you think God is okay with that lifestyle? Most likely not. So why do you live? Why do you do it then? Why do you get yourself involved in that lifestyle? Hey, come look closer, sis. Come on, get step up on the thing. Because I'm your brother around the game. I'm trying to show you what God said. I can't hear you. So what's your personal reason? What about you? You've been influenced by the devil in this society. And if you stay on that path, you're on that path of destruction. Read that again.
Sirach chapter 3 and verse 9. The show of their countenance doth witness against them,
Read.
and they declare their sin as Sodom.
You know what Sodom is? That's that LGBT lifestyle, that homosexual lifestyle. There's only death in that. There's no life in it. The woman was created to bring life into the earth. You can, but you can't do it with another woman. It has to be with a man. That's the way God created stuff. How? Yeah, you can do that, but what I'm telling you is that way of life is going to end with death. Listen to what I'm saying. Go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter, you know what I want to True, I think it's Genesis 1:28, 29, somewhere around 27. 27. Yeah. Read that.
Look at Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female.
What?
Male and female. Male and female created he them.
Read.
And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful
Here's the point.
and multiply.
What?
And multiply.
You have to multiply with a man and a woman in the holy union called marriage. Not two women and not two men. Now you have been deceived by Satan. You say you know what? What do you know? What do you know? So do you know that's going to end in destruction, eternal damnation? You know the God that created gave you life and breath and gave you joy and happiness, also give you pain. He told you that if you don't keep my commandments, there's eternal pain waiting on you. Am I lying, sister? The God of heaven and earth that created everything. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can't put my head on the stove for more than 5 seconds.
right.
I can't handle the eternity.
You got OC
I can't handle the entire time. All right, bro, come a little closer, man. So we dealing. Let me ask you, what's your views on LGBT? Yeah, do you think God is okay with that or what? What do you say about that? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1. I think it's verse 16, right?
Respect the person.
I don't know what Bible you use for the different kind of Bible.
Absolutely.
Use King James Bible.
Use King James Bible, King James Bible, God's name, Adam.
Okay, I agree with that part. So let me ask you lady something. Okay, he said something that makes sense. He said, well, I ain't gonna say it makes sense, but you said something profound. He said that we can't judge. Do you think we can judge our people if we see them doing wrong? It's in the Bible, right?
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the cause between your brethren and judge righteously between every man and his brother.
So God commands us to judge righteously. Because if God says he's against homosexuality, I got to correct my sister. Leviticus 19. I got to show her God is against that. That's been our ruin. Sin has been our ruin. Doing the things
God commanded us to do, right?
Yes.
I would say.
But God,
Which God? So that's the right
I did.
but God made us judges on the earth. We judge our people. Okay. Listen carefully. Leviticus 19. Hold on. I want you to listen to this. This maybe you misunderstood.
Book of Leviticus.
all that. God said to do that. So that's God's judgment. God is talking to that person. He followed the Bible.
Yeah.
That's judgment.
Okay, we'll get
That's
that.
that judgment from God, from the Bible. So that's right.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Because if I don't correct you, that's showing hatred for you. If I see you about to walk off the edge of the cliff, right? If I see your life is in jeopardy, I don't say nothing. And I see you breaking God's commandments, I don't say nothing, that's showing hatred. What this is love. Because these things are going to correct our people. You understand? Read on.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
God commands us to correct our people, right? Read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Now the question is, what am I supposed to use to correct my people? The Bible. Because when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, did he come with religion or did he come with law? What he came with? He came with what? He came with laws on how to live on the earth. And if you're in error in keeping God's law, and I see you not keeping God's law, it's my responsibility is to correct you and show you what you're doing wrong.
That's right.
And this is why we went through what we went through. Okay? Sin has been our rule. Sin has been our rule. We have to identify we did something wrong and we must correct those people. Give me Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1. Sodomy is running rampant in our community. And no one says anything because you're scared to offend them. Society has made it in a way where you are afraid to say something against someone's sexuality. But we must stand up for God. We must stand for God first, regardless of how they feel about the situation. I think I want verse 26.
Romans chapter 1 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection.
What's vile affection? What's vile affection? You know what that is?
To the matters of their mind, their heart, whatever
What's vile affection?
they want to indulge in.
Yeah, I like that. Whenever they want to do their indulgence, right? Like what? Give me some examples.
Like, if they wanted to do bestiality, whatever, all
Yeah.
that.
But what did the Bible say? What did God say he did? Read it again.
Romans chapter 1 verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection.
So when you want to do that sin, regardless of the repercussions, that's what gave you up to do. Go ahead. Live it up, do what you want to do. But just know there's a judgment behind that. If you want to do what you want to do. We've been taught we got free will.
Free will.
Free will. But free will is not free will when it comes with consequences. Go ahead. No, I'm not challenging. We're showing you the error of our people. Take a look, young sister right here, right? This is my sister, beautiful sister. How does she look to you? See? You see nothing wrong with that. You know why? Because our people don't correct one another.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Should she be wearing a dress or should she be wearing pants? That's what you say. What does God say? Back in the day? Okay. We just read the judge righteously, right? So let me ask you a question. So if man wearing dresses, that's okay with you?
I gotta go back.
Somebody asked him a question.
No, she's in the midst of sin. That's what I'm trying to show you. All right, give me first John 3:4. Who cares? America's gonna burn down too. Why do you think they make nuclear weapons? Why do you think America's about to get on the verge of World War III?
Heal the sick. Heal the sick.
Why do you think that? Read.
Book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever
Hey, brother, if you talk, you're not listening. I'm trying to give you all the answers according to what God says. Read on.
1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Hey, bro, you hear that? Read again.
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the breaking of God's law. I said it earlier. When Moses, you know Moses is, right? When Moses came down from Mount Sinai, what did he come with? Religions, or did he come with laws on how to live on the earth? Laws on how to live on the earth. So if you're violating those laws on the earth, you are in the midst of sin. Like America, this is a government, right? They have laws. We have to follow their laws because basically they rule the world in this country, right? When you break that law, what do they call you?
There got to be more than that, too.
My brother, if you break the laws in America, what do they call you? Hey, sis, so if you break the laws in America, what do they call you? If you break the laws in America, what do they call you? What's the term they make to label our people when we break their laws in America? A what? You heard her? She said a criminal.
Let me know you come down.
It's a crime.
Yeah, you break the laws of the land. So what happens when you break God's law? What does the Bible call you? Yes. So that's what we're showing you, your sin. Because our people are in the midst of sin. So now let me ask you a question again. 15? Yeah, she's 15.
And you gotta go. How you know the other way you gotta go? You say you don't have a girlfriend. And you just
She said she dealt with girls before.
oh, you did it.
See, yeah, you came late to the scene.
Do you want to change?
You shouldn't have a boyfriend either. That's the point. You shouldn't have a boyfriend either.
You want to change?
Hold on, hey bro, hold on. Let's give me her. Let's get to the bottom of this. This is what we gotta understand. We gotta stop leaning to our own understanding. We can't go by what we feel. Our feelings put what we feel put us in this condition right here. This is the worst thing that happened to black people. Because we feel a certain way. We can't go about, you may feel it's okay for a woman to wear pants. A brother, I'm just saying. But I know, but that's where we fall short. This is why we're trying to correct our people, because we're suffering. Read it out. Left God's law. Read what you got.
Book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable.
Now when God says marriage is honorable, what is he talking about? Is he talking about two men and two women, or is he talking about a man and a woman? A man and a woman, that's what he's talking about. Read it again.
Marriage is honorable in all.
See, that's what God ordained, for a man and a woman joining union in marriage, not boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what boyfriend and girlfriend produce? Single family household. Bring it out. Fatherless children. Our women on EBT, welfare, child support, and all this other stuff. Because we have left the laws of God. This has been our destruction. And everybody wants to do what they want to do rather than follow God's commands. The institution of marriage started right here in the Holy Scriptures. Read.
Marriage is honorable.
Marriage right now. Read.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
So if you are a person that wants to have sex and you are of reasonable age, get married. Read on.
But whoremongers.
Here's the flip side. But
whoremongers.
What's a whoremonger? The whoremonger. We should know what that is in our
Turn ye even to me.
What is it?
Whoremonger is a whore, basically.
What kind?
Bring your heart and not your garment.
Hey, my sister, before you walk away, what's a whoremonger?
Someone who has sex casually.
Yeah, with different people, right? Yeah. So this is the judge. God says, but what?
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
God says he's going to judge those people. God's going to know life, and he only knows death. Ecclesiastes 11 and 9. Hey, my sister, let me ask you a question. Sis, let me ask you a question. Are you attracted to brothers or sisters? Because we live in a strange world. I got to ask a question. So I'm asking you again, are you attracted to men or are you attracted to women? Women? Got another sister, she feels the same way. Why are our young sisters leaning to that trend when God is clearly against it? Do you believe God is against that? Okay, so we got to a common ground. We know that God is against it, so why are we living that type of lifestyle?
I have even heard you also say it the Lord.
You don't know why? You do know it's a judgment for that, right? All right, watch this. Read what I told you again.
Book of Sirach, chapter 11.
No, I said Ecclesiastes. Oh, Ecclesiastes 11 and 9 real quick. I want, before you go, we're not here to tear you down. That's not what we're about. We're here to show you the truth so you can change and you can repent. Because doing what we want to do has been our downfall. Right? Read what you got.
Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 9. Rejoice, O young man.
Listen to what God is saying. He says rejoice. If you want to live your life and do what you want to do, just understand there's consequences that go with that, right? All right, listen up to me. Read.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth.
And that what?
In thy youth.
Because a lot of our young brothers and young sisters are going through that type of lifestyle. So God is warning you here. In your youth, you're going to do what you want to do. Listen up, right? Read.
And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth.
Because when you're in your sin, you want to do whatever you want to do because that will cheer you up. You're falling behind whoever, rap artist or celebrity or basketball player. We tend to follow these people, and that's what we call them, our idols. You're worshiping them, and you're following, taking on that covenant and that lifestyle. Read on.
And walk in the ways of thine heart.
Walk in what?
And walk in the ways of thine heart.
And a lot of our people are doing that. They say, I don't want to do what God tells me to do. You both told me that you know it's wrong, and God doesn't see that as something good. You both acknowledge that. But God is warning you. Go ahead, walk in all the ways of your heart. Read on.
And in the sight of thine eyes.
Read.
But know thou
That's what God wants you to know.
that all these things,
All those things you want to do, that lifestyle you want to participate in,
God will bring thee into judgment.
God will bring that into judgment. Your life you living right now, whether you know it or not, you're auditioning for eternal life. And what you do is going to have a judgment.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.